go.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a summer sizzler, a cracker on Saturday night at the SSE Arena, Wembley, live on BT Sport, headlined by Joe Joyce, the juggernaut, in there against Carlos Takam, who's coming to ruin his dreams. Joe Joyce is knocking on the door for a world title. Carlos Takam, he thinks he's got unfinished business with Anthony Joshua. He thinks he should be challenging for a world title. It's a hell of a fight, and chief support, we have Hamza Sheeraz, 12-0, unbeaten WBO European Super Welterweight champion, defending his title against Spain's former Spanish champion, Ezequiel Gurria. Now, we're going to speak to Hamza and all the guys very shortly. We also have, of course, Hall of Fame boxing promoter Frank Warren, the man who is making the magic happen on Saturday night. Frank, I'm going to come to you first. Talk to us. This is a cracking show. Great headline, great chief support, great fights.
They are great fights, and we've got the smartest man in boxing fighting on there. Look at him, $1 million. Hamzah Sheeraz, 12-0. He's done everything that's asked of him, and I think he's a tremendous young talent. Still got a way to go yet, and I think we're going to get a good performance from him against a quality opponent who's only lost one fight. And I know he's not just showing up, as we say, to make the numbers. He's coming here to make a statement. But he's the man at the moment, and I'm looking for a fantastic performance from him.
When did Hamza first sort of start coming onto your radar? Because obviously he's been around for a while, very young when he joined up, but he seems like he's turned from a boy into a man. The last sort of few performances, what do you think?
Well, that's what happens as you get older.
Yeah. I'm still waiting.
I think the thing is with Hamza is he's got a unique style, and you think of talking about him like he's not here, but you think about he's light middleweight, as we call him, or super welterweight, as known in other areas. But you look at him, you look at the size of him, and he's quite deceptive. And what I like about him, he's got a fantastic jab, he's got a really good boxing brain, but for a tall guy and a rangy guy, he fights well inside. And you don't really see that with big rangy guys. They normally keep you on the end of their jab and so forth. But I think he's a quality act, and as I say, I'm really expecting him to go far in boxing.
Well, let's hear from the opponent, former Spanish champion Ezequiel Gurria, joined by Eduardo from his team. I don't know Eduardo's surname. What's your surname, Eduardo?
Alastro.
There you go.
Hey guys, there you go.
So welcome Ezequiel. What do you know about Hamza Sheeraz?
Bueno, pues simplemente es un boxeador alto, como vemos, es muy técnico y yo creo que él va a intentar jugar con la distancia, pero bueno, hemos entrenado para ello y yo creo que va a salir buena pelea.
He says that we know that he's a really tall boxer, and we think that he's going to play with the distance that he has because of the measure that he has. We are ready, we have prepared ourselves for that, so let's see what's happened.
Well, for UK fans that maybe haven't seen a lot of you, how would you describe yourself? How would you describe your style? What can they expect from Ezequiel Gurria?
Bueno, pues me considero un boxeador con recursos y preparado para cualquier tipo de combate que se nos dé. Si toca boxear en la distancia larga nos desenvolvemos bien y en la corta también. Yo creo que estoy preparado para cualquier cosa.
He's ready for everything. He's been in so many fights, in long distance, short distance. He has a lot of strong points, and he thinks that he has a lot of things to show, and he will be able to handle the fight with all confidence.
Well, Hamza Shiraz has knocked out his last 6 opponents in a row. He's unbeaten in 12. He has a lot of momentum. What skills does Ezequiel have to stop that momentum?
Bueno, sí, es un boxeador que está invicto, está en su casa, pero lógicamente no te voy a decir con qué armas vamos a intentar superarlo, pero yo creo que tenemos las armas para superarlo.
We know that he has won everything, and we have prepared ourselves for that, and we have a lot of tricks. We have worked out as much as we could, and we are not going to say what things we have prepared, but we think that we are going to handle it without any problem, even though he hasn't lost any of the fights that he has fought.
All right, well, we'll hear from Hamza very shortly about not having any problems, is what Ezequiel said. Ezequiel, finally, what would a win mean to you on Saturday night?
¿Qué significaría para ti ganar el sábado?
Bueno, pues yo no pienso más allá que en este combate. Para mí esto es una final y significaría pues, sacar buen resultado de todo el trabajo que llevamos detrás durante todo este tiempo atrás.
For him, is another fight. He has done a lot of fights in these months recently. It's a good way to continue his fights, and everything that opened after this fight is welcome.
Great stuff, right, thanks gents. Hamzah Sheeraz, so let's talk about your last fight, tail end of last year, another stoppage, 6th in a row, and then you got this praise. David Haye, Carl Frampton, they were talking about how you're the best prospect in the UK. They were talking about future world champion. What did you think when you heard all these words?
I'll tell you what, Dev. That performance, for myself, me being honest, it wasn't what I wanted it to be. It wasn't what I needed it to be be honest with you. But listen, at the end of the day, coming out of the ring and hearing world champions give you that praise after a performance like that I didn't think was the best personally, it just goes to show what me on my best day could potentially be. So hopefully come Saturday night, under the training I've done with Ricky and under the influence of my team and the opportunity obviously Frank's given me and Andy's given me, we'll get the best version of Hamza Shiraz you've seen today.
Is that a little indication? That's just fans cheering at a press.
The army's here. Wait till Saturday night.
Team HS in the house. Hamza, tell me this then. Everything was going so well. You got to 12-0, WBO European champion. You got getting all this praise. Rather than just carrying on as you were, you decided, no, I'm going to leave the country and go to LA for 4 months, completely change everything. Why?
I wanted to become an actor, Dev. I wanted to become an actor. No, I'm messing about now. Listen, I've trained with Ricky 2 years ago. I trained with him 2 years ago. I've done a 45-minute session with him. And from what I learned in that 45 minutes, I took on in 3 fights. Just that little bit of knowledge, just little things. It's not too much, just these little things. And then I said to Taz, when obviously prior to that session, that I actually want to work with this guy eventually. And then he goes, once we get the sponsorship in place, we'll go out there, we'll fly out there straight away. And then we made it happen. I've learned a lot in LA. I've been training at sparring at Wildcard Gym, training at Tengoose, and just rubbing shoulders with all like David Benavidez, Gilberto Ramirez, do you know what I mean? Names that are at the top of the sport, at the pinnacle of the sport now, so you can only imagine what I will be doing in the end.
I'd imagine there were hard spars as well with guys who no one's ever heard of but are coming to take your head off. Tell us about some of that.
Yeah, no, listen, if half these guys had like financial backing and top promoters behind them, they'd be world champions, but it was good sparring the Argentinians, Mexicans, you name it out there, everything. I sparred every style, tall, short, fat, slim, everything. And listen, come Saturday night, I'll be more than ready for whatever he brings.
Well, tell us how different you are then since that last fight, since 2020. What sort of Hamza Shiraz are we going to see against Ezequiel Gurria?
I'm not saying you're going to see a massive new me, because that'd be a bit silly of me to say. But one thing I can guarantee, you'll see a different version of me. You'll see a better version of me, and hopefully I'll get the job done in good fashion.
Well, he says he can handle anything that you bring. So, any thoughts on that?
So I'm gonna bring a lot. So if he's ready for that, well done to him.
6 stoppages in a row. Is this going to be number 7?
Yeah, God willing, inshallah. I'm looking forward. Yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Do you know what I mean? I'm on a roll now, and I'm making statements. So Saturday night, I'll be making the biggest statement of my career yet.
Okay, Frank. I think it'd be really good if he could just speak a bit better. What do you reckon?
Yeah, he's getting there. Look, you know, he's got one thing to show. At the end of the day, it's all what happens in the ring. And one thing that Ezequiel brings to the party is he's got good experience. You know, he's got a lot of experience, and he'll get the best out of Hamza. And as I say, you only got to look at him. It's not like he's somebody who's banged up and everything. It'll give him something to think about. But if he's half the fighter we think he is, he'll come for it and look good doing it.
Cracker, Saturday night, chief support to Joe Joyce against Carlos Takam. Hamza Sheeraz defends his WBO European Super Welterweight title against Ezequiel Gurria. Thanks for joining us for part one, and we're going to do a face-off at the front, and it looks like there'll be a height difference, as there always is. Hamza Sheeraz, thank you.
Go on, Hamza! Go on, Hamza! Go on, Hamza! Get in the middle, please, go. Good. Yes, Hamza, go on!